Hi ho, it's Erica here. And in the great tradition of my channel of complete non sequiturs, I have one. I crochet. And when you crochet, you inevitably end up with this kind of situation happening in your craft box, drawer, whatever. And what you're looking at is three different colors. This is a cotton black, and this is the ball it came on, so that's good. This is obviously a little ball of blue that I started to wide myself, and it's attached to this project that this is just like a sample, a big sample where I was trying or practicing a stitch, a Tunisian crochet stitch. I can't say it. Anyway, it's supposed to look like this, but I kept losing a stitch, so it kind of tapered on me. I eventually figured out what was wrong, but I didn't rip it out, and then it stayed attached, and then I ended up with this kind of craziness. Okay, so what do you do when you end up with this? You don't want to throw all this yarn away. This is perfectly good yarn. It's just attached here and there and everywhere. So first of all, if you find some place where it's attached, cut that, and that's a good place to start. So yeah, I don't want to start on the skein. I'm gonna leave that one, and I'll just work on this thing, which still has two balls of yarn attached. Now, what you'll need for this is a really big knitting needle or a crochet hook. I have a crochet hook that's probably a 30. This is a US size 50. And I got this idea from, oh my goodness, I totally forgot his channel. Okay. Anyway, he's the only guy crocheting that teaches you how to wind a ball of yarn that pulls from the center using a knitting needle that's size 50. I just happened to have one and I thought, great, I'm going to try it. Well, it worked, and I ended up with this very ugly ball of yarn. His was all pretty, but it totally center pulls, right? Nice. Uh-oh, I'm going to tangle it up with the rest. Nice, right? But while I had it on the knitting needle, I realized this was ideal for detangling, which I am really good at because if you don't know me, huzzah, I detangle this all the time. So yeah, I'm going to teach you one of the tricks because I'm going to get this loose. And I'm going to start by rolling it on a ball. Now what you don't want to do is what I just did. You never want to compact it like this so that it gets tight. Um, I'm going to cut loose the things that are intact. So this is the ball. I'm going to put that over here, and I'm going to keep up with this end. And I'm just going to start here in this big mess. So let's get a little closer. Okay, so you need some leadway. So kind of pull on this until you get enough off to start your ball. So this is at the end. And the way he starts the ball is a slip knot and load it onto the needle. Hold the tail toward the point of the needle and begin wrapping. You can just hold it down with your thumb until it stays on its own. Begin wrapping and turning every once in a while this knitting needle to get it wrapped on here. Now this takes some practice because I don't have any and it's going to look bad, but it'll serve the purpose. They don't need to be pretty. But you do need to get that wrapped and out of your way because now it's all secured in your hand, right? You don't want this tail to be too long because you don't want it to interact with the ball. That's probably okay. Now back to my original statement, which is you want this to be loose. So you don't want to pull until you've tightened anything down. So everywhere that there's tension where it's all meeting, just kind of pull it apart. And then my experience with these is there's always some amount of twisting over the yarn that's caused this. So I'm going to follow this blue one. You see that? It's got two loops of black over it. I'm just going to go under those loops until I set this blue one free. Slide under there. It's all compact on there. Okay, so I got those two off of the top. Now there's a green one going over the top and some black ones. I'm just going to stretch it out again so I can see what I'm doing. Stretch it out. And this time I'm following this thread that I'm holding in my hand, and I can see that it's going underneath these two black ones. I'm just going to follow it underneath. Did you catch that? I know they're black and blue on top of brown, but it was literally what I had that was tangled. I don't have anything else tangled up in a knot. And I am not going to tangle something in a knot to show you how to unknot it. You just have to look real close. See the blue one? It's got this black over the top. I'm just going to go underneath that, pull the whole thing through. And here's so once again, you can see the blue is underneath the black right here. I'll enhance the color a little bit so you can follow it, but I'm just going to go underneath there, following the blue line. The goal is to get the blue out, or whatever one is on the ball. So I'm going to keep twisting. When I get to this kind of situation, I'm just going to gently pull it apart. There's my blue one, so I'm going to pull on it a little bit until I can see where it's going. Now I'm just going to follow the blue one wherever it leads. And after a while, you'll have enough of your blue out to wind again. So you go back to winding, and I'm turning this in my hand as I'm winding it around. And hold on to that tail because it'll get caught. And if you hold it down at an angle where this points towards whatever tabletop or the floor, you won't get caught like this if you hold it up. So hold that down so it's out of your way. Wind until you feel it starting to tighten up on you again. Until you feel it starting to tighten up on this ball again. When that happens, you're going to find the string. You see that that's the black one. I'm going to follow that. This is you can see the blue. I'm just pointing the tip of this at the end of that blue. I'm just going to follow it through here, pull it all the way through. And now I just got more of my blue loose. And now, wow, that dropped way down. So now I'm down here somewhere. Stretch it out so you can see what's going on. But I got a big chunk of string off of out of my ball again, so I'm going to start twining again. Now you don't want to watch me untangle this whole ball. Maybe I'll speed it up and I will just leave it running. So literally putting the needle where I see the blue going. You see that blue right there? I'm just following that blue line. Part of what happens when you're untangling something is what you're holding in your hand that's untangled becomes retangled in the mess. The nice thing about this is that doesn't happen because when you get enough to actually tangle with the other yarn, remember to hold down your tail. You twine it out of the way so it stays nice and compact and it doesn't, oh, that was too much. You don't want this to be tight, remember. This needs to stay loose. Otherwise you can't follow your string. But you don't have the yarn tangled up again. That's not happening repeatedly because it's all tied or wound around the knitting needle. And what a knitting needle it is. Again, the whole goal here is just to follow the blue line or whatever lines on your until you get enough off to wind and then you keep going. So like I said, I didn't come up with this whole put it on a knitting needle thing. I just learned that today actually. But I happened to learn that on a day when my goal was to get my yarn organized because it was taking over my bedroom. Like I couldn't even vacuum in here because I was afraid I'd suck up a skein. So now we're going under the grain. Ooh, that makes it easier to see. Okay. You see that? I'm just going to follow. Here's the blue one. I'm just going to follow this one through the loop. No matter where this blue one goes, which is much easier to see next to the grain, I'm just going to follow it. And when I get too much loose, and I'm afraid it's going to retangle or it starts snagging, roll it up. And when you get done with this, the cool thing is not only do you have your yarn detangled, but you have it in a center pull ball. Crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. If you also follow my channel, my boys are doing great. I need to post some pictures of them because they're huge and very opinionated human beings. There's like some massive meltdown about something or another that I don't let them kill themselves with. Fun, fun. But it is nice to see them communicative. Very interesting. So, and they're still sleep trained for all the sleep training haters. In fact, that's where they have been for the last few hours, sleeping in their beds blissfully, and they, you know, go down without a fight. Well, they fought tonight. I had company, and I think they wanted to stay up because she was here. Okay. So remember to keep it stretched out. You don't want to let it compact on you. And this looks like mostly black at this point. There's a loop there. The goal, you only have one goal. Follow the blue. Or whichever one happens to be, yeah, on your knitting needle. And again, sorry it's blue and black. It's what I had. You can kind of see it when it's against the grain, but okay, so I'm gonna put that down because this black one is, haha, look at that. I have now separated the black and the green. Oops, hello, autofocus, there we go. I've now separated the black and the green, and I can pick those up and move them away from the blue. So now we have blue on blue. You're really gonna love that. I'm gonna wind this a little bit. Stretch it out. Try to keep it as loosely stretched as you can get it. And follow whatever line you're on. So now it's blue on blue, so good luck with that. Just trust me, it's coming undone. Oh, hey, here's another end. And that inevitably happens too, is I figure out that the reason it got in such a twisted mess is because there's two ends. Occasionally I'll have to, which it doesn't matter. It doesn't change anything. It's just, if you keep your ends away from each other, maybe this wouldn't happen. And I'm mostly talking to myself here. I'm going to wrap that. And you know, I was apologizing for it being black and blue, and really, most of the time I don't have multicolors tangled together. It's just one color. So the fact that it was even some green in there probably made it easier to see than if it was just all the same color, which is probably what you're going to have most often. This is what I encounter most often. This is just one color. So now I have quite a bit that's loose. So I'm going to hold down my tail and okay, pull this loose. Don't want it to compact down on itself. I'm just trying to pull it. I'm not trying to do anything except get it away from each other. And then there's 2 loops sitting on there. I'll go under those. And all you're trying to do is get whatever's laying on top of the string. So let's loosen it up. Whatever's laying on top of the string, off of the string. You see those 2 right there? Let's get those off. That's it. And I've got quite a bit off again. Hold down the tail. Okay. We're at 16 minutes of you watching me untangle yarn. I'll put some markers in so you can skip to the end. Oh, you probably got it by now. Oddly enough, I'm being meticulous and slow and careful and deliberate with this yarn. And if my hair had gotten knotted like this, I'd have grabbed the scissors so fast and cut that puppy loose. Well, I guess I can grow hair again. I can't really grow yarn, can I? Okay, I'm going to hold down this tail. I got a big chunk this time, this spiral. Oh, okay, got that. Let's see the space here. Where are you going? Hey, look at that. It's an end. So I got one end. I saw that other end earlier and I kind of laid it towards the floor so I could find it later. So there's the other end, and I'm just going to pick up from the end I found earlier. I forgot to say, when you find an end, kind of keep track of it. And I just kind of throw it off the table towards the floor. And loosen that up. And then I'm going to, I don't know what this knot's called, but it's a flat knot. It's flat instead of, and pull it so tight that you're almost going to break the yarn, and then I just snip it close once I've done that. And then pick these up because these will make tangles. Okay. And then I just keep going. And those are easy to hide in most of my projects. I've never seen one actually on a finished project. If you're selling your stuff, I don't know if you're supposed to put a dot of glue on that or something to make sure it doesn't come loose. I have definitely bought yarn, especially the cotton yarn, that I've seen those in, and I thought, what? You can't do that. Look at that. It's another end. See what I mean about the ends being what's causing all the problems? So I'm just going to take this end and throw it towards the floor and keep working. And I'm just pulling it apart. I'm not trying to do anything in particular except break it up so that I can see. I got enough on here. Hold your tail down. going. I'm at 20 minutes of watching. You're at 20 minutes of watching me untangle a ball of yarn. Don't worry, I'll fast forward the middle. Occasionally I do say things I want you to hear though. That wasn't one of them. Luckily, my audio software has a mute. Okay, so we have made it back to the skein, but it's all messed up still. So I'm going to try to untangle this. Uh-oh, I lost my end piece. So somewhere in here I lost the piece that I had thrown on the floor. That's what's making this tangle. So I'm pretty sure if I can get that loose. So I'm doing the same thing, but instead of pulling this way, I have this end. There it is, that I can see. So now I'm just going to work backwards. It seems like this is more resistant than this way. And this since it's short, it's easy to do. Well, not that easy because that wasn't it. Okay, follow the one. I'm following this one. I can see which one's straightest in my hand and pull it. And this is much more difficult to do when you have it loose, because I'm worried about it retangling with something else. I'm going to throw it over the top of my arm, pull it out of the mess, throw it over the top of my arm. Following this one, pull it out, throw it over the top of my arm. Okay, I'm going to go back to this one. Hold that tail down, and so I think I should be able to. I'm just pulling it apart here, no rhyme or reason, just trying to loosen it up so that I can get this big old needle through this big old mess. This might be easier with a smaller needle. I literally just learned about this today. So, I don't know. I don't think so, though. I think the big needle's helping me. Oh, I guess I should stay on camera. I am back to the middle of my skein. Huzzah! I did it. Okay, so this is what I ended up with. And this is kind of a mess, so really I should just undo this whole thing. Put that one on the floor so it doesn't get in the way. And I'm going to busy myself. This is just now coming out of the middle of this. Uh-oh. Dang nabbit. Are you serious? See, I let the tail from the other one get in it again. This is annoying. Oh no, that's not the tail from the other one. Where's the tail from the other one? All right, I'm going to wrap this one. And get that. Separate it so I can see. Put that under there. Whole gold being to make it. And then I encounter this a lot. You see that twisty right down there? And I'm just going to take this and wrap until it's just no more twisty. And again, this is that one from before, which is what's messing me up. So I'm going to put it way over there. And now, if I wanted to stop here, I could, and I would have this little tiny ball. Oops. I think I messed up those last couple ones. How did that happen? I could just keep pulling from the center and unravel this whole thing, which is what I think I have to do in order to keep it from tangling up again, so that when I get done, It's just coming straight out of the middle of the skein, which is how I work with mine. I always try to look for the center and find it. So, okay. That's 25 minutes of me untangling yarn. You made it. Congratulations. And sorry if you didn't. So this is just coming out of the middle, all untangled. We're good. So I'm going to cut that. And I'm going to put some tape on this end so that I can find it later. That is the worst job taping a thing I have ever seen. And on this other end, so that I don't get it, this is the, uh-oh, where's the camera? Oh yeah, here's the other end that you can either loosely wrap this around the outside, which is what I usually do. That doesn't work too well for me though, so I'm actually going to cut it and I'm going to put tape on this end too, but I'm going to tape it down to the skein. Okay, so this will not tangle up again unless you get this won't tangle up again unless you get things through it. This is the end, and this is the one that's coming out of the middle. Does that make sense? Let me see. Turn my light a little bit. Yeah, so this is the one coming out of the center. Okay, so that's done. That end's taped, this end's taped. I'm going to fold this in half, and I'm going to put it in my drawer like that. And that leaves me with this ball, which I'm just going to slide off. Where's the end? So you don't want these two ends to come in contact, because that's how you end up with the same kind of thing. So the one that you are wrapping around the outside, wrap it around and tuck that bad baby in somewhere so that it doesn't get caught up with this one. You slide this off, and here's your little ball. And mine are awful looking. Like his looked all professional. Hey, look, a slip knot. You see that? Anyway, it's a slip knot. Anyway, that's all. That's it. It's right out of the center. Nice, right? Okay. I have done this many, many times. So I'm going to go edit the heck out of this video and upload it. Thanks for watching. Bye.